to Beach Theory. Excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited to be here too.
And you're really cute.
And you are too.
And today we have a special treat.
We're talking about our honeymoon. The last episode we talked about our engagement and how difficult it was. And I left something out, by the way. I left out that the whole honeymoon, or not the whole honeymoon, the whole engagement, I was praying like crazy. Please help me to resist temptation. Please, 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 please. So tempting to go all the way, like all the time, the time.
Got you through it.
And that's really I honestly think that's how I got through. I actually don't think I could have done it. It was so hard.
We both were.
We were really both praying a lot to be help us resist temptation. Help us to not give in and just go all the way. Yeah.
And right before we got married, I bought a fifth wheel trailer.
By the way, this might be PG-13.
It won't be PG-13. It'll be PG.
Yeah.
I feel like the word might,
So we're joined today by Cody Crabb. He is our sound engineer.
And brother-in-law.
Hello.
A mastermind of all things audio
Podcast.
and music and things. He wrote the theme songs of the Beach House.
Just Pause the Game.
And
When Adventure Calls.
So you've heard from him a lot more than you think you have.
That's right.
Actually. But today's really exciting. We're going to talk about the marriage.
Our wedding day and honeymoon.
So, let's see, my family came into town for the wedding.
Yes.
From Oregon.
Yes, they were all there. And we had bought, in our engagement, I had actually $3,000 left over from scholarship money and stuff for school. I actually had leftover money because of how many scholarships and grants I got.
Oh, and I remember another reason why we waited until May 2nd to get married.
Because that school was out.
Because that was literally days after school got out.
Yes. That was when 10 different people that we knew were also getting married because they wanted to wait until school was out so they could get married and have the wedding and have the time they needed to prepare for it while also going to school.
So my sisters are photographers, and that came in handy.
Yes.
They came to visit, and so we got
here's
some
our
amazing
engagement pictures.
photography. So our engagement pictures, we got those taken, and those are really fun. And then we also got amazing wedding pictures.
Yes, we did.
They charged thousands of dollars to do wedding
They're
stuff.
professional wedding photographers.
And they gave it to us for free.
Which was really handy, because I would not have taken pictures.
So we talked about
probably.
how we only spent $3,000 total on the entire wedding.
We got a lot of free stuff.
We got a lot of free stuff that made it really it might look fancy or nice, but really we just got hooked up.
And so we had $3,000, and we were like, where are we gonna live once we're married? I have hiccups now really bad.
So we bought a fifth wheel trailer, 1 bedroom, fifth wheel
30
trailer.
foot, something like that.
It was 32 foot or something.
Yeah.
We parked it in a trailer park in Mount Pleasant, and I was living in that for a couple weeks before we got married.
And we're like, this is our home. This is where we're
It's our own
home. And it was actually really nice to have something to
nice.
call our own at that time. We were teenagers, basically. I was a teenager.
You
were just barely out of your teens.
You were 19.
Yep. And you were
when we got married.
22.
And you were 19 when you got pregnant.
Yes.
And you were 19 when
we had a honeymoon baby.
Were you 19 when you had James?
No, I was 20 by
barely,
then. Mm-hmm.
Just 20.
Yeah.
So that morning we got up and we did photos. We did photos the night before.
We did the photos the day before we got married. And the first look, we had those pictures. So Michael got to see me for the first time.
It's always awkward. I had a really hard time with the first look because I'm like, what reaction are you expecting out of me? Am I gonna cry?
You better cry.
Right? But honestly, I feel like every time I look at you, it's the most amazing, beautiful thing. So how can you improve upon perfection? So you put her in a white dress.
You see why I like him.
She's all dolled up, and it's well, I can't like her anymore. So I'm just gonna keep smiling.
Yeah, he just smiled a lot. He was so happy. We both were so happy, and we were so happy that we made it that far.
Yes, it was more like a relief. Finally,
it really was.
Right.
Such a relief that we were able to make it to that point, and still have not had sex before we were married. That was so difficult.
So
We talk all about that in the last episode. If you didn't hear the last episode,
engagement drama.
That is drama. Yeah, it was very difficult, and we talk all about it in the last episode. So
episode 5.
And
today.
and
this
everything leading up to this is basically everything leading up to this story. So if you want to hear the rest of the story, go back and listen to some of our older podcasts.
Our life began the day we met. That's where the podcast.
That's right.
So we got up early and we went to the temple, the
Manti
Temple in Manti, Utah.
And ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to get married there.
So that was
my parents got married there. That's part of the reason why I wanted to get married there. So Michael was like, I don't really care.
I said, you pick.
As long as it's in the temple, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we got married in the temple. We had a lot of family there that day.
Yes. All my brothers and sisters and all your brothers and sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your mom and dad and my mom and dad.
Both
and your mom and dad and mom and dad.
And both my dads.
Yeah.
So, and grandparents. It was awesome. It was really, really special day.
Yeah.
And then we had a luncheon at the church.
Uh-huh.
We had like spaghetti or something, didn't we?
I
just remember eating
and it was, I think it got burnt on accident, but we had burnt spaghetti for lunch.
And then after that, basically we all just like worked, right? Didn't we
so
spend,
actually
like, all day
what we did
up?
is we had a luncheon at the church. It was spaghetti and it ended up being a little bit burnt.
I don't remember.
And then
burn.
I do, because I was like, oh no. But then we left, actually.
Where did we go?
We went to Snow College to my ceramics class because I had made a wedding cake, a 3-tier wedding cake.
So all this after we were married.
Yes.
So
on our wedding day.
In the morning, we got married that morning, and then we went to the luncheon. We're married. We're driving around together.
Then we put everybody to work, putting our reception together, like putting it all together.
We went to the luncheon, then we drove to Snow College and went to pick up your ceramic wedding cake that you made.
Because I wanted to have it on display because I had made it kind of for the wedding,
right?
Like I wanted to have a really
we talked about her wedding or her ceramic cake abilities in the first podcast.
Yes.
Episode. So she made this amazing wedding cake out of ceramic.
Wedding cake 2.0, ceramic wedding cake.
And it looks so good, and I wanted to eat it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I knew this one was fun. That was something we left out of our dating. You were doing ceramics a lot, and we hung out a lot in the.
That was the first argument
pottery room or whatever
that we ever had.
She was trying to teach me how to do pottery.
It was the first time I ever saw him get really mad. And it was really.
I was not really
It was
mad.
It wasn't like he was really mad, but he did not like yell or scream or take it out on anybody.
I was mildly annoyed.
He was mad.
I think it was exaggerated in her mind because she'd never seen me get upset about anything.
Yeah.
And so even though it was mildly annoyed, like I said,
I was like, he's mad. He's mad. I've never seen him mad. And I was freaking out because he was freaking out. Because he was all mad. Well, you stormed away. That's mad.
I walked away.
He stormed away.
Why did I get upset? It was just
okay, let's tell the story. I'll tell the story. So I had like 3 years of ceramics, and I wanted to teach him how to spin like a bowl or a plate on the pottery wheel. And I was trying to teach him how to do it, and I was trying really hard, and he just wanted to have fun. He just wanted to play.
I remember now. You were micromanaging me.
Yes, I was. I was trying because I really wanted him to succeed in it. Not realizing that it was bothering him.
I was playing with the wheel. I was playing with the clay, and I was having fun trying to mold it in my own way. And I was learning from my own mistakes. And she was like, "No, you have to do it this way exactly." And I was like, "No, I want to like figure it out."
Yeah.
And kind of play around.
And I had a lot of experience with it, so I was like, I bet I can teach him how to do it perfect the first time. Like I really wanted him to do it like perfect.
So yeah, that micromanaging, that was the frustrating.
He was doing it and trying to do it and trying to have fun, and then eventually he just was like, he stopped talking, he stood up, and he stormed away. And we stormed. We were in the ceramics, like the humanities building at Snow College, and he went all the way back to my apartment without me. And that had never happened.
I just needed to pray.
It's true. And now I'm like, oh, I know you so much better. If I would have known, I just didn't know I was annoying you.
Well, that's part of the learning process.
Or controlling you. Yeah, it was.
You have to learn what the limitations are.
And so he just stormed away. He didn't like explode at me or anything. He just stormed away. And I was like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. And then I was like, are you okay, Michael? And he was just like, silent treatment. Not because he was trying to be like not talking to me for a long time, but because he was trying to not
Calm
explode
down.
at me,
Yeah.
you know? And that was really good because we've practiced that ever since then,
I
really.
think it needs to be said here that I don't explode.
No, he doesn't. But that was exploding for what we had experienced up until that point. Like, in my mind, it was like,
Exploding.
he was so mad.
See, when I think of exploding, I think,
Right?
That's
And I
exploding.
think-
I don't do that.
You're right. And
I just walk away.
the
calm
way I
down.
explain things,
Right.
like even people that, like even the family that live in our house, they're like, you don't really get mad.
Right.
Like both of us don't really get mad. We just get tense and we debate, and sometimes we step away because we don't want
Take a
to
break.
debate.
Calm down.
Your knees in my baby belly.
Sorry.
But like
Your
we
baby belly's on my knee.
it's just like I don't know, we've always both taken the stance that, hey, if we're getting to a point where we're too angry that we cannot talk to each other
Nicely,
nicely,
calmly,
or not even,
respectfully.
we're not even making real points with
Right.
each other, we're just saying things to be mean, like we don't do that.
Right.
Because I think we both respect each other enough and we love each other enough that we want to step back from the situation until we're ready to deal with it.
Right.
And that might take an hour.
And then,
But we usually don't sleep on it unless we're so tired that there's no getting anywhere until we get some rest.
and then we come back and say, "I'm sorry, I overreacted.
Yeah.
This is what
I
bothered
was
me."
wrong, or this
Right.
is why I was upset, even though this makes me sound bad.
Right.
I still want to explain it to you. And 98% of the time, we understand it. And we're like, I feel that way sometimes too. And neither of us are perfect, so it's okay, you know?
Yeah. So that was our first.
That was
Fight.
when we were engaged.
I guess you could say. But so yeah, we went to go get the cake that
Yeah.
you had made. I just think it was interesting because we're driving around alone,
Married.
and I think that both of us were kind of like,
What do we do now? We could do anything.
Everything's legal.
And we knew when we got back to the reception, people would have little snide remarks like, "Oh, what have you two
Where
been
did
doing?
you guys go?
What did you do? Blah blah blah." And we were both like,
Nothing.
"No, leave us alone. Stop talking to us. We don't want to talk to you about that. It's none of your business."
But we didn't. We literally did nothing.
We did nothing.
Literally.
Nothing. Other than holding hands, and we kissed probably, but that's it.
But like we didn't
Didn't
do
touch
anything
anywhere
more.
else than that.
So it was just like we were still engaged. But I think
Yeah.
we were both like, let's just wait until
Let's
tonight.
get to the reception. Let's get after
not
the
get
reception.
distracted. And
We have a lot of things to do before it's time for
Right.
that. Yeah.
that was a long day.
You thought it was a long day. I was like, I'm so scared. Let's make this go as long as possible. And you're like, let's leave.
Yeah. The reception took forever.
We gotta eat cake. We cut open that cake. We have some wedding videos. Oh, my cousin
dancing.
sang us a really good song.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
Oh, that was another song that's like our song.
Every time we hear it, it reminds
What is
me
it?
of the wedding.
Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where we have been. Right? That's a
Yeah,
good
That's
song.
a good one.
That was one of those that was playing on the radio like 98% of the time that we were engaged.
Yeah. So a lot of wedding pictures. Your brother Andrew made a wedding video asking everyone to give us wedding
Yes.
advice.
Ryan looks like a baby in it.
Yeah.
Everybody looks like
I think Ryan
babies
said
in
something
it.
like, "I want to get married" or something.
Yeah. Now it's my turn or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. 10 years later, he's still looking.
I feel like
Poor
we need to
guy.
stop teasing him about it.
I don't tease him.
We're rubbing it in.
It's a thing. It's a fact.
That's true.
Anyway. poor
He's a good
I
guy.
want him to
He's
get
such a
married.
good guy. He just
He's-
hasn't met the right person yet.
He's
That's it.
amazing.
Anyways.
You know, he's been with us from the beginning too.
Yeah.
He was on our first date.
Yes,
second
he was
date,
our
all the dates.
go-between guy. When I wanted to find out something about Michael that I wasn't quite comfortable asking him about yet, I would ask Ryan. And Steven a little bit too.
More Ryan.
More Ryan. And
Ryan
then
was
Ryan
always
would
around.
go and say, "Hey, so how do you feel about this?" And then Michael would say how he felt, and then Ryan would come back and tell us.
That was more
Or
at the
tell
very
me.
beginning.
Very, very beginning. Before we were
Because
like
after that,
really
we could just talk to each
communicating.
other.
Yeah.
So we got back to the reception place and
Yes.
got everything all set up, and guests started to arrive.
Yep.
I
And
don't
it
remember
wasn't
much
set
more
up
from that
exactly
day.
how I wanted, but we
Did
didn't
we
have a
get
lot of money
changed?
to deal with. No.
Like out of our wedding clothes?
No. We stayed in our wedding clothes, I think, the whole day.
Okay. I just remember helping set up the
Oh,
booth.
maybe you did. I don't think I ever got out.
Or it
my
might have been the
wedding
day
dress.
before that we got it all set up. I don't remember.
It might have been
We had a tree, and it was like willow.
a willow tree.
And it had all these branches that hang down, and people would take money and clip it to the tree.
Yeah, that was nice.
A money tree.
I wonder how much we made.
I don't remember.
It probably wasn't very much.
We got a lot of money. I remember like a year or two after our wedding, we found a letter that had never been opened, and it had a check from our wedding
for like $500 or $100.
I think it was like $50.
Oh, maybe.
But at the time, we were
it
poor.
felt like $500,
right? And I remember thinking, "Oh, I hope this works." So we cashed the check, and it worked.
And then somebody called us. It was a distant relative, and was like, "Did you just cash a check?"
I don't remember that.
Yes, and we were like, "Oh, yes,
No,
we
like,
just
okay,
found that letter."
We just want to make sure it's not fraud or
yeah,
something.
they were like, "We just want to make sure it's not like somebody stealing money." So funny.
Oh, and we missed sending out a whole bunch of the invitations.
Oh my goodness! I think we didn't send out half of them because they just
lost.
got lost in the chaos of finals, because we were in the middle of tests, and we were it was really hard planning a wedding and going to school at the same time. Like, that was difficult.
Yeah. But the wedding was good.
Yeah, we had the whole family there. We took
dancing.
pictures. We can show you some of the pictures. If you're watching the video right now, you'll be able to see. So we are uploading it on YouTube too, if you're listening to the
anyone
podcast.
who's listening, we have a video. You can see our beautiful faces the whole time we're talking. And we'll
some
have
pictures
photos.
of this time, because we have a lot of pictures. Oh, we have some of the cutest engagement pictures, and we have really cute pictures just from our wedding day, and then also from like our reception that night too, with all the family there, and some videos. So those are fun too.
Are you ready to move on from the wedding?
No.
I was so ready to get out of
Isn't
there.
this typical? We're both like, this is exactly what happened almost 10 years ago. I was not ready to move on from the wedding, and you were.
Let's go. We got an amazing honeymoon planned, you guys. We went to Hawaii for 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
And then we went to Australia.
That is a lie.
And we toured the Great Wall of China. It was the most glamorous
Our honeymoon was very similar to as much planning as he put into the proposal, which was none.
And we justified it by saying, we'll go there for our 1-year anniversary.
We'll go to
We'll
your
do
dad, didn't he say we could go to Florida? He has a rental property in Florida.
You've still never been to that
No.
house in the Keys.
And he offered it for our honeymoon.
Did he really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
But the thing is, we were like, well,
we need to go there.
we have very limited money, and
Next
if we
year.
went there, we just wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
have a lot of fun, because we didn't have a lot of money to deal
I
with
have
or to
almost
use.
no money.
Yeah, seriously.
But
We spent it on a fifth wheel trailer. Our home.
we bought a house.
Yeah.
We had that.
That's gone. Long gone.
So
that
our
one.
fancy honeymoon was at like
1 hour away.
I didn't want to drive that far. So
There was literally no
chose
other
somewhere
hotels
close.
in between that hour.
Or
He
else we
found the
would've stayed there.
first hotel he
No,
could
there
find.
probably was a hotel.
There
like
was
in
the-
Spanish Fork. We could have
there
stayed
was
at right out the mouth of the canyon.
That was the
We
first
stayed
one.
at a hotel in Provo. Why? Because it was a hotel. There was literally nothing else.
You were like, it
of
has
interest.
a swimming pool and a hot tub.
I think
You're
we
trying
swam
to
in it
get me to go
once.
swimming, skinny dipping in that hot tub.
No, you'd never do that.
I know, but you tried to get me to.
Did I really?
Yes,
though?
you were
No,
like,
I did
well, yes,
not.
you did. You tried to, and
After
I
our
was like,
wedding?
no,
Seriously?
I'm terrified.
I don't think I would have done that at a public pool. Maybe you're
You
making
should have
stuff
seen
up.
the look I just gave him. If you're not just listening, I just gave him a look.
So-
Cody, does this feel awkward being in the room with us? Okay, good.
So we checked into this hotel
Yeah.
and we stayed there for 2 nights or 3 nights.
We were there for,
I
I
think
think 4 total.
4 days and 3 nights.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
yeah.
We didn't really do anything. Like, you know what
Are
I mean?
you kidding me?
Like, we didn't do anything other than hang out in the hotel.
And you know what we were doing.
That's
all we did. Rewind a
I
little
don't
bit.
think okay.
So let's get serious, because I want to talk about some things that, oh my goodness, this is going to be really hard for me to talk about, I think.
You don't have to talk about
But
it.
but at the same time, I think other people have gone through this, or maybe have experienced this, and it would be helpful maybe. So
It's up to you.
So
Now, I don't know what you're about to say. I'm just saying, be careful. You still want to keep this
no,
advertiser friendly.
I know. Like I'm not thinking anything terribly bad. But Michael was very excited for our honeymoon, and I was terrified. Like terrified. And
is it because you thought I was really like a murderer or something?
No, it wasn't that at all. It was all growing up. I had 2 separate experiences where something bad had happened to me. And like and it was something like sexual. Somebody had done something sexual to me, like a neighborhood boy type thing. And that when I had heard that, well, I was very young, so I went to my mom and I was like, "Hey mom, this thing happened." And she was like, "What?" And she didn't freak out a ton, but she was very clear, "Hey, that is a very bad thing, and he should have never done that to you. And so you got to protect yourself and make sure to tell me if anything like that happens again. And just so you know, that's bad. Like, don't let that happen again, right?" And so, like, in my mind, I kind of wasn't prepared to have sexual things be all right.
Because your whole life had been bad.
Like I had a really, really difficult time switching my mindset to, it's okay, you're married.
Right.
Like, and it's weird because all the time we were engaged, I was like, like having a really hard time resisting that. But when it really came down to it and it was our wedding night, I was terrified because I couldn't switch my mind from this is not okay to this is okay now.
Right.
And I think because of that, Michael had expected things to be a certain way, or I guess I was confident in all ways except that way. And it was very weird because I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't know what I was going to be like. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about anything. I mean, I had taken a health class.
But she plugged her
was
ears
about
during
it.
that part.
I'd close my eyes and plug my ears.
This is bad.
No, really, but like that's kind of what I was saying in my mind. Like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Like the whole time in like health class.
When we're talking Utah sex education too, which
right.
is not exactly.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Well, and growing up in a strict Mormon family, LDS.
I was sheltered.
Latter-day Saint family.
Definitely sheltered. And Michael grew up in Florida. He got a lot more comfortable, I guess, with ideas like that than I did. Like, and not saying he was like raised in a terrible way or that he was exposed like to things.
No, I think it all just comes down to how the parents do it. Like, yeah. My mom talked more openly about that type of stuff.
And honestly,
with us.
I just, in general, I feel like men kind of have more information because of their anatomy, like, than women do. Like,
right.
If that makes sense, like, without, yeah.
Right. I just think I was more mentally prepared.
Yeah.
And I think that you had just been so afraid and so scared. That
I mean, you were literally my first kiss.
Right.
I had done nothing beyond with you. Like,
so I want to talk really quick about the way that you were raised and what your parents talked to you about.
Yeah.
Like, what could they have done differently that would have prepared you better, but still been appropriate so that you're not like...
Honestly, I think from the 2 experiences that I had, I was just terrified.
Right.
Like, it wasn't their fault. It wasn't like they didn't prepare me. It was just like, I think that they kind of prepared me for the worst. But then in their sexual life, like, and I really don't want to get into anything like that, but all I'm saying is like they were very, very private.
Right.
They were not like,
which is appropriate.
She wouldn't like sit on his lap and kiss him or anything. Like, there was like, they would anytime my parents got even remotely close to doing something physical, my mom would slap his hand and say, "John, the kids are around." And that was just very typical. So like, and I never like accidentally walked in on them or anything like that. Just didn't happen. Right. So my experiences were very limited. And then in the media, like if I saw a movie, I would say, oh, you know, that's a bad movie if it has a sexual scene in it. Like, and I'm going to close my eyes, or I'm going to fast forward it, or I'm going to turn it off. Like
Right.
that was my mindset all the time.
But see, there's a fine line between sticking to your values and being moral and having chastity. But then there's also a level of you need to be educated.
I needed to be a little bit more prepared. Probably.
Because you also don't want to go in blind thinking, having absolutely no idea what you're getting into, and then being traumatized because you were not prepared.
And I think that the only previous experiences that I had
right.
were traumatizing. So
what can...
after our honeymoon, I was kind of traumatized. Not on like it was no one's fault. It was seriously no one's fault. It was just because of my previous experiences and
for the record,
lack of experiences.
I didn't do anything on our honeymoon that would
no
uncomfortable.
No. Actually, that's another really good point. Like the whole time he was like, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever is comfortable to you, I'm not going to do anything that you don't like. And he was complete gentleman in that way. Yep. He really was like, and there was nothing I guess the sad part about all of this is that there was nothing that he did that was bad. There was nothing that he did wrong. There was nothing that should have traumatized me. You know, like I don't know. It was, everything was perfect. Everything was natural. Everything was good. But it was my mind that just could not switch from being like, this is bad to this is okay.
Right.
That instantly. Like,
right.
And it literally has taken us 10 years and we have made progress. Like we're at a point where I'm comfortable. Like, and honestly, the first at least year of our marriage, it was so far out of my comfort zone.
We never even talked about it. It was like something we did it, but we didn't talk about it.
Well, and I think that he had certain expectations.
You couldn't even use the word sex.
No, I would just say make out.
Make out. That was your code word because you were too uncomfortable even saying.
I was like, it's almost like a bad word. Like I was almost raised saying, that's a bad word, don't say that. So it felt so uncomfortable. Or like body terminology even. I couldn't even say the name of body parts. Like that's how sheltered, I guess. But I don't ever want to look at my parents and say, oh, you did it wrong. Like you raised me wrong. Because it wasn't their fault that those things happened to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And with the information that they were given from what did happen to me, they did their very best to help me through those things and like make sure that I had enough information to defend myself or to not let that happen again.
Right.
But I think that unintentionally, it gave me too much of a lack of information, and the only information I had was, this is bad, or this is, like, I wasn't ever told things like really getting into detail, or I don't know. I just never was told what was okay, or how you could maybe feel the spirit of God, like when doing something like that. Like you're creating, it's really to create humans, you know, like
you're creating life.
I think it was just such a taboo subject unless you asked about it. And every parent does this differently. Every parent's gonna have to face talking about these things, right? But like they did the best that they knew how, and I know that it was good, like the way they did it. So I don't know. I just, hard to talk about. What are we doing?
We're just going to reset the camera for half a second.
I'll cry.
That's okay. You're allowed to cry. Yeah, it's all right. This is real.
I know. This is the stuff you can't talk about in vlogs, though. I'm saying,
And
like,
we just don't talk about
you
very
can't.
often. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I don't think we've ever talked about this
to anyone else but me and you.
Yeah.
Not even my mom. And that's saying something.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that I think I'm most excited about the podcast.
Yeah.
Is because we're going to be telling intimate lessons and things that we've learned and experienced that we've never shared with anyone.
Well,
not for any other reason than it's
a private thing.
Yeah.
It's just not something you'd go around talking to the world about, which is what we're doing now.
Well, we're talking about it now for many reasons, but it really comes down to why we're doing this podcast in the first place. And that is, we feel like we've learned a lot through our life's experiences, and we have something to offer to other people going through similar things. And
I should clarify, I was never raped. That was not the extent of what happened to me. Like, it was not that bad. Like, if I look back at it now, it's just like I was touched in the wrong place. Like, that's the extent.
Yeah.
That's the extent.
When you were 4?
When I was 4, I was touched in the wrong place. And when I was 8 or 7 or something, like, other things happened. And it was never rape. Like, that was not to the extent. But the way that it was dealt with scared me so badly that I was like horrified at the thought of what is beyond that.
Right.
And so then I was just like, well, I'm not going to find that out, you know, like I'm going to be ultra careful, and I'm going to make sure that I don't sin. And I didn't go around kissing people in high school. Like, that was never something I did. Or, you know, I don't know. I guess those were defining moments for me. And I guess I looked at them like, these things happened to me before I was 8 years old, before I was baptized. And that makes me who I am, because I've chosen ever since I was baptized to be very virtuous and careful. And so in high school, I did nothing bad, like nothing bad. Right. And then just, I couldn't have predicted that it would affect me so much or so badly. Well, like, I would like to hear your side of the story on this too, because I'm sure you have some stuff to say about what you went through too.
You mean during the honeymoon?
Or what you thought about how I reacted to things and stuff.
Well, honestly, I expected apprehension. I expected it to be something you were scared. And that's why I was so careful to be like, hey, like,
I think I had warned you, hey, I don't know anything.
I'm
freaking out over here.
And I was like, look, we don't have to do anything that you're uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
You know, I just love you.
And we only talked about these things like days before the wedding.
Right.
Like, we didn't talk about like deep sexual things or anything.
Right. So we just let everything happen, evolve naturally.
He's like, I think the only thing I asked him was like, okay, are you going to let me, like, I'm scared. Like, I want you to help me to feel comfortable. And then the only other thing, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll do whatever. Like, I will let you take the lead. He said that. I will let you take the lead, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then the only other question I asked him was, should I get lingerie? And he was like, yes.
Do whatever. No, I did not say yes.
You did.
No, I did not. I never would have said that.
I remember him saying,
honestly, you
yes.
surprised me with what you had brought. I said, do whatever you want. I don't even remember that.
I remember you saying yes.
No. You're embarrassing me now.
I'm sorry. So, but that's what I thought you said.
I guess, okay, so my takeaway from all of this is how can we, as parents, make sure that our kids are more prepared than you were?
Also not too prepared. Like, it's just a balancing act, I feel like.
Like I said, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
Between being moral and clean and having a preparedness and an understanding of what's coming so that you're not traumatized.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I can say.
Honestly,
because I believe you can do it. I believe there is a balance and you can do it in the right way.
Like, there are certain things that I am just terrified of or mortified of even now. And like, we're just working through these things one thing at a time. And thankfully, he's like very patient with me. I mean,
hey, you know, when she made me wait a month before she said yes to marrying,
you figured you might have to be a patient guy.
That set the tone for the whole marriage. I gotta be really patient. with everything.
Yeah.
That's okay though. You're worth it.
But I think
you're worth the wait.
It's just like what we talked about earlier, you know, we have to be able to communicate really well. And if we hadn't,
right.
I think you would be very frustrated if I hadn't communicated to you how I felt or why I felt a certain way. Like, you would, especially in the beginning of our marriage, have been very frustrated as to why I was so apprehensive, or
right.
maybe I didn't love you, you know, like things like that. But really, that wasn't the case at all. It was the opposite. It was, I love you so much, but this is a switch I'm not used to. And I can guarantee, though, that there are probably a lot of other people that feel the same way as I do.
I know there are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, I just think it's important to know the balance.
Yeah.
To know how to communicate that and educate your kids. Like, I want
to be able to teach our kids and make sure that they, like, maybe hearing this podcast would help them. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, just because there's emotion in this. Like, it's not an emotionless thing. Like, it's so full of emotion and it's so full of experience, and just, I don't know.
Well, I believe
it could be a very, very peaceful, sweet, amazing thing.
I think it's a very sacred thing.
And sacred thing. And on the other hand, it can be the complete opposite.
Absolutely.
So it's like you kind of have to be really careful with this.
Mm-hmm.
And not flaunt these things around, or like be, you know, a lot of people aren't careful with it nowadays. And I'm just glad that you were willing to be really careful with me.
I love you. I think that we should end this video, but I want to do it on a happy note. So you should tell a story about what happened after our honeymoon. The first thing that we did when we got back.
Obviously we were I was the first one in my entire family to get married, and that was awkward coming home because everybody's like, we know what you did, basically. Right.
So we drive back home,
and my dad, he is, bless his heart, but he is so no filter. Like, he will say whatever.
He really is. But it was great because we drove back home. We went to the trailer. That was our home.
Yep. And my mom and dad
and your mom and dad were like, hey, you guys are back. Okay, we want to come see you guys and say hi and bring all your presents from the wedding that you haven't gotten to open yet.
And your wedding cake.
We're like,
whatever.
Yeah, come over. We want to see everybody. And
and I was like, this is gonna be so awkward. This is gonna be so awkward. Just seeing them for the first time after our honeymoon, and they know what happens on a honeymoon. So I was like, oh. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to stuff my belly and make myself look 9 months pregnant. So I did. I stuffed my belly. I had some overalls on, and I stuffed my belly completely full. I made it look really nice and round.
We have a picture of this too.
Somewhere.
We do.
It's really old, blurry picture, but
it was the perfect thing to break the ice.
Yes.
For when your parents came over.
And boy, did it break the ice. I have never seen my dad laugh harder in my entire life than when I walk in and I'm kind of backing up towards him, and then I turn around and he's like, he just starts laughing so hard. I can't even, like, there's no way of, I wish we were recording that. That would have been one of those best moments to record.
I think,
can't even picture that.
It would have been, like, I have never seen him laugh that hard. And you've seen him laugh hard, right? But, like, it was like, and just, like, it was one of those laughs that,
it was a belly laugh.
When you thought he was done, he would start all over again. And then when you thought he was done, he would start all over again. It went on for like 3 minutes. So I was like, whoa. Like,
I think there's a deeper reason why he got so much joy and out of that joke specifically.
Because he's like, yay, grandkids.
No, I think it goes even deeper. I think that there's always like this worry in a parent's mind that their kid is going to get married and it might not be a good marriage.
Oh.
Right? Like, if my kid gets married, I might worry that maybe they, whatever. Yeah. And so for you to come back and you still got your sense of humor and you're still goofy and funny. Right?
I mean, on the inside, it might have been like that.
Oh, Mom, that was terrible.
On the inside, it might have been like that. Like, no.
You didn't come back saying bad things. You only
not abusive at all.
You were joking and you were having fun and you were making your dad laugh. I think it just brought them a lot of peace to know that you were still you and you were still happy and it was good. And I think that's...
And we had gone past a huge milestone in our life.
I think it just really made him happy.
Oh, man. Good times. Awkward, good, surprising, shocking, happy times.
Right. Well, thanks you guys for listening. And
this was an intense episode for me,
Sure
just so
was.
you know. Like, and honestly, I really have not talked to anyone about this stuff because I don't know, it just never got brought up or
it's
never really felt comfortable enough to talk about it.
But next time we're going to talk about after we got married and the adventure we had moving away from your family.
Oh my goodness.
For the summer.
And honeymoon baby. I got pregnant right away.
And so you were sick a lot.
I was sick a lot.
So,
and Michael's like, who did I marry? You're not the person I married. Oh, you're just not the same.
I was not
what
that
happened
dramatic.
to you? Over time, he said that.
All right. So stay tuned next week. We got a lot more fun
Yes.
coming your way. Make sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts,
Yes.
Google Podcasts, and Anchor. And also subscribe on YouTube if you're watching this video.
If you want to see pictures of all of these times, we have wedding pictures, a lot of wedding pictures and engagement pictures and fun pictures in this episode specifically. So if you were just listening to it, it might be worth the watch on YouTube.
And we really appreciate you guys' feedback. So if you have anything you want to ask us or thoughts or whatever, feel free to post it as a comment.
Questions
on
or
Anchor
things you want
or
us
YouTube.
to debate about. Maybe we should talk about all of the fights we've ever had.
We should do a podcast where we fight.
Yeah,
It'd be
let's
great.
fight in front of them.
It'd be really fun.
Okay, let's do it.
Can you maybe do that one on your own?
I don't know if it could get much more awkward than the one we just talked about.
It's all downhill from here. We've covered